What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Dr. Wondy. This is a special segment where we talk about you and your problems. And we all know, we all got a lot of problems. By the way, I'm not a real doctor. If you've been enjoying these segments, click on the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the little bell for notifications for the next video. Enjoy!
Paging Dr. Wondy.
I'm an 18-year-old guy and I like a 15-year-old girl. That's a little bit MONKA, not gonna lie. We talked for 4 months, have gotten kind of close. Don't worry, none of that illegal shit. Gotta keep the no smashing till marriage thing. That's good. She has been sending a lot of signs, like joking about watching Korean dramas under a blanket together, just spending time together. But it's been hard to spend time with her because her parents are pretty paranoid and will only let her hang out with me if her best friend is there. I want to ask her out, but I don't know when, where, or how. It's a little... she is quite far from being legal and you're already a legal adult, so it's pretty taboo to kind of like try this. I really think that you should not because it could get messy and yeah, I just don't think that you should. Cause it's if she was like 17, I would be like, oh yeah, no, you know, she's gonna turn 18 next year, it's fine. It's not that bad. But she's 15, so she's like, she just entered high school pretty much. Hey Melbear, welcome. Thanks for the year sub. So I just don't, I'm not even gonna say like how you should ask her. I just feel like you shouldn't. I'm sorry, but I feel like it's not a good choice here. Someone very close to me passed away recently. This is the first time I've personally experienced this feeling of grief, and it's so hard to cope with. I'm afraid to tell my friends what is going on because I feel like they'll just call me weak and make fun of me. I'm not able to go back home and visit them just yet because I still have school that I have to deal with college, and it just makes me feel awful. How did you go through grief, and any advice to help me? Thank you, Wendy. It really means a lot. I feel like everybody goes through grief in their own way and differently, and can you even call your friends friends if you can't be vulnerable with them? I feel like if you're feeling incredibly sad about the loss of someone close, your friend should be there for you and should try to comfort you in whatever, or try to be there for you. They don't even need to do anything. They just need to be there for you, right? Physically, emotionally, verbally, anyway, just to be there for you. I really don't think you should be afraid to tell your friends. And if they can't, well, I don't know how old you are. I'm gonna assume you're not super old because I feel like people with any kind of emotional maturity would be able to understand that you're going through a hard time and they would not make fun of you for being sad. That's just wild. Who the heck makes fun of someone for being sad because they lost someone? Can you imagine? Can you imagine being the person who's like, ha ha ha, like, ha ha, you lost your dad, ha ha. Who the heck does that? What the fuck? That's just fucked up. Right? Like who? What? Like why? Why? What? Who? Like crazy sociopaths? Like, I don't know. People who like don't have emotions. What if my goldfish died? Dude, I was so sad when my hamster died. And people are like, lol, hamster. That hamster was the best hamster ever. What if my flower died? That's pretty sad, dude. I used to have a hamster when I was young. Hey, listen, if you have an emotional attachment with your flower, I would feel bad for you, okay? I'd be like, damn, dude, that sucks. Plant lives matter. Your pet rock died? Damn, dude. Feels bad. Actually, no. I feel really... No. You know, like your moms or your dads that like to do, like, planting stuff in the home. I feel so bad when I watch like my mom try to like grow some plant and the plant grows and then some weird thing happens and then the plant starts wilting. Dude, I fucking feel bad about that. I'm like, oh no! Like, my mom spent so much time trying to grow this plant and, like, now it's dying, dude. That's so sad. I'm like, she put so much, like, effort and time, and I'm just like, no, the plant is dying. Plant lives matter, okay? Anyways, all I gotta say is I think you should definitely take your own time to deal with your feelings of grief. And it's going to take a lot of time for you to accept it. You're never really going to forget. And you're not going to forget the pain either. Because every time you think about it, it's going to be there. But the feeling does fade a bit over time. And you should give yourself that time to accept everything and to process everything. And don't be afraid to tell your friends. Hopefully they're not shitty friends, but if your friends are shitty, you need to make new friends. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but you should not be afraid to tell your friends that you feel sad. Because if they're, I don't know, if they're just bad friends, period. But anyways, I really hope that you feel better.
Oh, hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, there you go. The reason why I ask is because like I want to improve my way of talking and stuff. That's why, you know, my social skill. Mm-hmm. That's why I ask. My question is very like very fast, I guess. I was just gonna ask. I want to pursue this music career, become a singer and such, but like I don't really know where to start, like where to begin to get to that point, you know. So I was wondering, like, what would you recommend, like, to start to become a musician, a singer, you know, and stuff like that.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 21.
And are you in school for music?
No. I've never had lessons or something like that.
Okay, this is like okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Pursuing anything in music is incredibly hard.
Yeah, I know.
It's incredibly competitive. And there is, like, I would even say 90% of the time you will not succeed. I will actually say that. Because I came from a background of music.
Yeah, I kind of figured it out. That's why, like, I kind of like wanted to ask about it. Like,
so,
like how could I?
In terms of being like, let's say, a singer, right? So most of the people I've met, they've been professionally trained for years, right? And there's people who either in school do like classical, which is like operatic type of stuff, or jazz singing, right? So that's more, you know, like jazzy songs and stuff like that. There's also people who do Broadway, but that's like a completely different thing. If you're just kind of like, if you've been doing a lot of like covers and singing at home and stuff like that, I feel like you're eventually going to need to take lessons somewhere, either in some kind of like music academy, conservatory, or in some kind of professional setting, regardless. And it's not about like whether you're good naturally or not. It's that there's so many people out there who are amazing. And like if you think, I'm not saying you specifically, but like you as a whole, it's like if you think you're good, someone out there is better than you.
Obvious.
Yeah.
No,
so
someone
out there is...
I always thought like about taking those lessons because I personally don't think like I'm that great or anything. It's just I want to pursue that as a, you know, music career and stuff. Just I wanted to like know where to start. I actually thought about it. I also thought about singing in like specific cafes and stuff, you know.
Do you want to pursue this as a career or a hobby?
As a career, yeah. I would like to. Would
If
love
you
to.
want to pursue it as a career, I think your first step is to do school or lessons professionally. And afterwards, so first of all, if you're doing anything in arts, right, like music, painting, drawing, or instrumental, anything in the arts, the first step is obviously getting good, right? Like you have to be good at your own art, right? After, that's your first step. You have to be great, amazing. You have to be unique. You have to have something somebody else doesn't have. That's you. So your individualistic style, you being technically good, right? Like whatever it is, like, and especially in singing, there's technique, right? And then there's being able to express emotion through your voice, right?
Exactly.
There's that, right? So it's your personal technique. That's number one. Number two, if you're thinking about singing in cafes, it's like you're gonna have to try and meet people to try and get into, like to even have an opportunity to try, right? Like to apply or to know people. There's that. You can also try like using outlets online to try and get a name for yourself, to try maybe make like YouTube covers or like SoundCloud or something else. You have to build up like a portfolio. You have to perform a lot too to get the experience, to build up like your kind of like a resume, but not really. It's just kind of like your musical portfolio, right? It's like, why should someone let you perform for them, right? Like, why are you good?
I had many ideas before, like for example the YouTube idea, or like like also the school idea too. So that's why I was like kind of lost. I had like the performing cafes and stuff. I don't personally think like I'm good or anything. I just I would love to. So and like I I go like based mostly on what people tell me. So I don't really judge myself too much on that, if that makes sense.
I think you have to judge yourself.
I'm very critical about how I sound.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And you
people
should
say,
be.
"Oh, you sound good" and stuff, and I'm like, "No, I don't know about this. Like, this is weird for me and stuff." So that's why I work like every day on my vocal, and like sometimes, like my friends and my family and stuff, they say, "Oh, you nailed that note and stuff," and I'm like, "But I don't think it sounds good enough, and stuff." I'm very like critical with the way I sound. So, but yeah, I wanted to pursue because it's something that I really like to do.
I mean, I would say go for it. But just always remember that
I know it's not
hard.
easy. It's very hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I also had very family members related to music. They always say the same, but when I ask about like some advice or something, they don't really give too much attention and such. But yeah, just wanted to know like where to start first.
I definitely think you need to get lessons. Yeah,
because it's like that kind of thing that, oh, I want to be this, but like, how do you even start? So I kind of feel very lost about it. But obviously, if I don't make it, I'm not gonna be like disappointed or anything. Well, I tried at least, That's so. I just wanted to know like where to start and such.
That's a good mindset to have. I mean, like I said, your first step is to become incredibly good at your skill. That's the first thing.
I see.
Yeah. So you're going to have to take steps into thinking like, how do I become better? You can't become better by yourself. Like you can't, there's a limit to how good you can become by yourself, Because at some point, you're going to need someone to tell you, like, oh, you're not doing this right. Or you can do this this way, right? So you need
I
lessons.
struggle with that too.
You need someone who can instruct you and guide you. And you're probably going to need to go through like multiple teachers. It's not just like one teacher. You have to go through like many different ones, learn from different people, different styles, like learn what do you actually even like to sing, what suits your voice, what can you try, like you know, widen your horizons and like your vocal ranges, and there's a lot of stuff with like music, and that's something you need to find out through like in different instructors.
I see.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm in college, and yes, I do want to get good grades and want to make my parents proud, but I'm getting so stressed lately that I'm getting depressed. I can't choose whether I get worse grades and relax a bit more or not waste my parents' money and make them happy. I feel like this is actually a pretty common struggle for a lot of kids in school. At the end of the day, the schooling is for you. It's actually not for them. So if you just want to chill a little bit, I mean, okay, it's where you want to go with your schooling, right? Like, do you need good grades to pursue what you want to pursue? Or do you just need to pass? Or are you just like finishing your degree or like high school, or you're just finishing high school and like doing like just going to get some job, random job? Like, it depends on what you want, right? Like, it's about you. It's not really about your parents. It can be, I mean, obviously it's about expectations and all that stuff. You don't want to disappoint them. You know, they're obviously paying money or whatever. I'm gonna assume you're in college since they're paying money. I mean, at the end of the day, after you finish school, it's not benefiting your parents, it's benefiting you. So, do you need these grades or do you not need these grades? If you don't really need it, then fuck it. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like, obviously having a university or college education is good, great, awesome, right? But a lot of times people graduate from school. Doesn't it say I'm in college? Oh, it does. I'm just drunk. Anyways, a lot of times people graduate with a degree and they don't even work in the same degree they studied for. And most good parents just want you to be happy, yes. So, you know, regardless of how you do in school, your parents just want to know that eventually in the future, you will be able to take care of yourself. That's what they worry about. And mostly it's not wrong to think that, like, you know, finishing school, having a degree is a good basis of finding, it's like a good base for you to develop some kind of career somewhere in some field. However, it's not always the case, right? A lot of people can study whatever the heck, and then when they finish studying, they go work for Air Canada. They go work for a bank. They go make their own business. They work McDonald's. Honestly, whatever you study doesn't always have to do with whatever you pursue. And that's fine. That's completely fine. And it happens like a lot. A lot. Wouldn't want my advice from a sober doctor. Yeah, life just happens. Obviously. Yeah, like it's very common. Life just happens, you know? I graduated with a music degree and I'm streaming. I think the point of university oftentimes is it's like in an environment to help you learn certain things. Honestly, you don't always remember half the shit you learned in school. I think like later on you just forget everything. Like, what do you even remember from school? Not much, right? I think school is like a place for you to learn to communicate with other human beings and also a place for you to understand responsibility and deadlines and working hard. It's just, you learn different things in school. It's not necessarily exactly the subject. I mean, unless you're trying to become a doctor, then all the content really does matter, because, you know, you need to know all the science. Otherwise, you're going to be killing people. You can't really practice as a doctor if you don't know the science behind it all, right? But I'm talking about like other jobs, obviously, and other things. You don't necessarily have to know the material you learned in school. Hello. Okay, he's really hungry. I should feed him, maybe. Baby, it's not time yet. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? I think he's not going to leave me alone until I feed him. So yeah, I mean, it's all about you. And if you feel like you can just kind of relax a little bit and your grade drops by like a few points, like whatever, you know, it's fine.